What's up, guys? Spartan 85 here. I wanted to take a few minutes. If you've been a console 7 days a night gamer like me for a long time and are just making the switch to PC or are getting ready to play the new console version when it comes out soon, hopefully in the next couple months or so, whenever it comes out, kind of wanted to make a video to show you guys the different changes to expect. And there's a lot of different changes. I have said over and over that this game is basically a brand new game. It is completely different, and there's a lot of things. I'm not going to be able to cover them all in this video. I'm just going to cover the biggest ones coming from a console gamer 7 days to die going to the new Alpha 22 version that to expect. And hopefully there's some hidden things in there the Fun Pins haven't released that's going to come out for the console, maybe. I haven't heard anything, I'm just hopeful, I guess. But anyway, the first thing to cover is just the overall look, feel of the game, and the graphics, really. The game looks great. It is so much brighter. That's the biggest difference I noticed. It's just brighter. It's more colorful, and I'm not here to dog on the console version. I love the current console version. I love it. And so don't take this as me dogging on it. I'm just putting up the differences in the two versions. But the console version almost has it's a very dark, kind of brown gray game. It's kind of drab, a little bit. Not a lot of colors. You go to the current version, the Alpha 21 version, it's very bright, lots of colors, and overall, the graphics just look good. They're finally getting some optimization done where it's running at 60 frames plus a second, so it's starting to look a lot better. There for a while, a lot of us were having struggles just getting it to play above, 30 frames per second, but it's doing really well now. You're gonna have less crashes too. There's just a lot of changes they made. You still will have crashes. I've had crashes on the PC version and stuff. You still will, but just not as frequent as the console version. The next big change you'll notice is the difference in the POIs. First, there's just hundreds upon hundreds more of different POIs now. There's not just the same POIs you see in the console version, the current console version. Each one that's still there has had a major makeover, like the Shotgun Messiah, the Poppin' Pills, the Shamway Foods. They've all had big makeovers. Even the hospital in Dyersville got a big makeover. And there's just a whole bunch of brand new POIs that you just won't recognize because they're new. A lot of them are like little strip malls, some of them are standalone stores, some of them are houses, and some of them are tier 5, tier 6 massive POIs that are just a blast, but you need a lot of weapons to go into them. There's also different tiers of POIs. You have the tier 1s, which are like the little houses, the little shops, and then you go all the way up to the tier 5s, which are the Navigating Hospital, the Shotgun Messiah Factory, and stuff like that. Another big thing is their dungeon-style POIs. So instead of, the console version, you just kind of found a way in, either the front door or a window, and you just went in and you just raided the place and you got out. The current PC version is a dungeon style, meaning you have to start at one point, either the top or the bottom, like the basement or the roof, the front door, and you'll end up at the very end, usually the complete opposite, usually at the very top, usually at the very bottom, in the basement, in the attic, whatever, and there's a main loot there. We call it main loot. There's like a main loot stash there that has, usually like some pretty good loot, a couple boxes to open, and sometimes like a briefcase or a locked safe to open. And they're pretty fun. They're fun to clear. They're all a little different. They're all a little challenging. You'll clear one POI that has just a couple zombies in it. The next one you'll clear, it has 2 cops and a Rob Zombie in it. Rob Zombie is a white zombie, if you don't know what that is. People haven't followed me for a long time. The next big thing is the vehicles, and the console version, of course, has one vehicle, the mini bike. Now, you can customize the mini bike a little bit. You can put better engines and, tires in it to make it faster or slower or whatever, but that's about it. At that point, you're done. This is the mini bike. Now, the current version has 5 vehicles in it right now. Possibly a 6th. There's been rumors of a 6th vehicle being added. All they've really shown is helipads. So we're all kind of guessing maybe some type of helicopter of some type, but they've been showing helipads and all that stuff. They've been adding helipads all over the map and stuff. Even the traders have helipads now. So anyway, so the current version now has the bicycle, and you can get that pretty early just by doing trader quests from the trader. I think you do 5 or 6 trader quests and you get a bicycle. You can also craft it without a workbench. And then it does have the mini bike also in the current version. It's pretty similar to the console version. And then you have the motorcycle, which is my personal favorite. I love this thing. You can just plow zombies with this thing. It has a lot of storage and it's freaking fast. Then you have the Jeep 4x4, which has a massive butt ton of storage, which is really great for moving bases or just exploring, and it's a blast. It's a zombie mower. It is awesome. And then last but not least is the gyrocopter, which is pretty fun to fly. It has a lot of storage. It's really nice for traversing the map, not have to deal with zombies and stuff, and frankly, I still can't drive this stupid thing. I crash it all the time. It is a little bit of a challenge to drive. I'm curious how they're going to do it on controller. I feel like it will be a little easier to drive with a controller. I really do. Mouse and keyboard, it can be a little tough sometimes. But once you figure it out, it's fun to fly. And like I said, rumor possibly of a sixth vehicle, maybe the helicopter of some type. Because like I said, they've been pimping the helipads. All right, well, next up is the weapons. And so the console version, you have the basic weapons. And the console version, it takes a while to get some weapons. You get weapon parts really easy, and then you have to build them. So a lot of times you start off with a pistol or a shotgun or a hunting rifle. And then ammo can be kind of hard to find. You can find them in treasures. You can get them at the trader. You can craft them. But the current version now that we're going to see on console here in a couple months has a lot more weapons, and I feel like they're a little more accessible early game. You can build pipe weapons pretty early, pipe pistols, pipe rifles, pipe machine guns, and there's a lot of different melee options, and melee is a pretty fun way to play in the current version. The steel clubs, baseball bats, the sledgehammer is OP in my opinion. The sledgehammer is awesome. The steel knuckles, or just knuckles in general, are a lot of fun to play with. The batons are a lot of fun. There's batons, there's also stun batons. The spears are really good. Now, you used to be able to throw the spears on previous alphas, but now it's just you hold the spear, you have a power attack and a regular attack. And that's one thing I'll also say about the current version is there's a power attack now. Not just one attack, there is a power attack that uses a little more stamina. So you have to be kind of strategic with it when you use it. You jump down to the guns, it has the pistol, it has the shotgun, but there's different variants. There's an SMG still, you have the 44 Magnum also that's carried over. Then there's the 44 Desert Vulture, which is basically the Desert Eagle, which thing is OP, I love it. You have the pump shotgun, the double barrel shotgun, the auto shotgun, which is also OP, I freaking love that thing. You have the hunting rifle still in the game. There's a lever action rifle that brings me back to like Fallout days. I love the lever action rifle. Sniper rifles in the game. AK-47's in the game still. There's a tactical assault rifle that's pretty fun. You can put scopes on it and stuff. The M60 is my baby. I love the M60. It is an ammo hog, so you got to be careful with them. The M60's there. Rocket launcher's still in the game. There's different bows. The compound bow, the wooden bow, which are a little bit better than the primitive bow that you had in the console version, in which primitive bow is still in the game. And then you have robotics. You have a robotic sledge and then a robotic turret. And the robotic sledge is awesome for horde bases. You can really knock zombies into pits or knock them off your base. Then you have the robotic turret. You also have auto turrets too, like shotgun auto turrets you can put, good for dealing with vultures and stuff on top of your base. And then there's also the robotic drone, which is still kind of a work in progress, but it is fun to use. It's fun to put some storage in. It kind of follows you around and sets some stuff. But overall, there's a lot of different weapons. I didn't even cover all the weapons, but there's just a lot more weapons in the new version to play around with. There's different advantages to each one, but it's just a lot more to play with, which I think gives it more playability. One game you can play with spears, the next one you can do arrows, the next one you can be, just a sniper if you want, so it's pretty fun. Alright, like I said, I'm not gonna just, bury the console version. I'm not trying to do that. I know it might sound like that, but I'm not trying to. But this next one, it hurts a lot because action skills are gone in the new version. Action skills are kaput, which I freaking love action skills. You learn by doing. And so, console version was action skills. Then they went to they got rid of action skills in between alphas, and it just kind of went to like you just put skill points into whatever you want to do. If you want to put sexual Tyrannosaurus or lucky looter, or you want to whatever you want to do. But they got rid of action skills. Now the current system is learn by looting. So you loot these magazines, which actually are sort of your action skills. So you read these magazines. What's kind of nice about them is you can choose through your perks kind of what magazines you're going to find. So if you want to be a chef, you can put points into Master Chef and you'll find cooking books. If you want to be a spear expert, you put points in the spear and you'll find spear books. You'll find more of them, I should say. You'll still find other books. Still has mixed reviews from what I can tell. I'm still mixed about it. I haven't really figured out how I feel about it. It is way different though, because the forge is now locked behind behind these magazines. So you have to unlock it. And I mean, I'm on day 7 of my current playthrough. I still don't have a forge. You know, console version, you gotta have a forge day 2 if you kill enough animals, you know. So it's just different. It's way, way different. But action skills are gone, which I really hope that when they bring out Alpha 22 on console, they allow you to have an option you can turn action skills back on. But as of right now, we don't have that. Now, there are certain mods out there like Darkness Falls that brought back action skills. So if you really need action skills, you can just play Darkness Falls, and it's pretty fun. But like I said, the current version is learned by looting, and here is just kind of what the perks look like. The perks have changed. Sexual Tyrannosaurus is gone. You'll notice that right off the bat. And there's a lot of different skills. You know, Animal Tracker, Lucky Looter is a really good one to put points into. Boomstick and Pummel Pete. Master Chef's a really good one. Pack Mule is awesome. It opens up more storage for you. And that's one thing I should add too, just really small, is you have more storage in the current versions and a bigger hotbar, but you also have an encumbrance, kind of like Fallout or Elder Scrolls. So putting points to unlock more of those slots do help a little bit. You know, you still have archery, you still have that, and then you kind of go to intellect, which is all kind of new. You have electrocutioner is a good one to put into, advanced engineering, grease monkey are the vehicles. I personally love daring adventurer. I am a huge daring adventurer fan because it gives you better rewards for doing quests, which I find myself doing a lot of quests in this game, a lot of quests. Which brings me to the next thing that is completely different, is Trader Quest. And that's one of the biggest questions I get. A new player hops on, he's watching my videos to try to figure out how to play console 7 Days to Die, and he's like, hey, how do you do Trader Quest? Where are they at? And I always have to comment, hey, unfortunately, we don't have Trader Quest in console version. It breaks my heart every time I say that, because, you know, they're like, oh, really? I'm watching these other YouTubers that are doing quests. I can't do these quests. So anyway, we have Trader Quest, and they've changed over the years a little bit, but what we have currently is each trader has their own set of quests that you can do. So let's say you go to Trader Bob and you do all of his quests. You do 5 or 6 quests. You get the bicycle from him as a reward after doing all those quests. Now you can do tier 2 quests with Bob. But if you go to Trader Jen, she's going to have tier 1 quests. So it's kind of nice because, you know, you can bump up the tiers, but then let's say you're overpowered, you go to a new city, then you gotta go up to Trader 1 quest. You know, you gotta go back to level 1 quests. You'll breeze through those really fast with, you know, the weapons and stuff you have. But it is kind of interesting that you gotta go back to tier 1 quest if you go to a new trader. But they have really good rewards. You can get a lot of ammo. You can get a lot of supplies. You can get different things you need. Like I said, and if you keep doing them, they will give you the vehicles. They will give you the bicycle, the mini bike, the motorcycle. Just keep doing those quests, and they will give you those vehicles. They're a lot of fun. They take you to different places around the map, and like I said, they're just a different element to the game, and you don't have to play with them on. You can just play like you did on the console version with no quest, but they are a lot of fun to use. Big thing that changed is the loot progression, and this changed back in Alpha 19, I believe. The loot progression and the item value. So, you know, in console version, you had, you know, day 1, you could find like a level 250 iron fire axe or something like that, or you know, a wooden club, a level 250 wooden club. Well, those are gone. Now it's levels 1 through 6. 1 being the worst, 6 being the best. And so if you kind of think about it, in like level 400 club is now just a level 4 club. But instead of finding a level 4 club on day 1, you're going to find level 1 items on day 1. There's a loot progression now. They've hinted about adding a slider in there that lets you find better loot early on, but they haven't added that slider in yet. I guess they're still working on that. But you will find some random stuff once in a while. You'll find like a, you know, level 4 iron sledgehammer sometimes, or the trader will give you one. But the best way to, you know, find those points is just put points in the Lucky Looter, or do the Daring Adventurer and get better points. You know, better loot. Now, that's, like I said, some of the mods that have come out, like Darkness Falls and stuff, have brought back those items that you can find, those, you know, level 400, level 500 items. They brought those back. And so that's kind of a thing that it's hard to get used to, because you're like, well, level 1, I want something better. And it's actually, it's decent, but it's just different. It took me a long time to get used to that, and it kind of turns you off a little bit, because, you know, it's kind of fun finding a level 500 club day 1, or level 500 axe, or mining pickaxe or something like that day 1. It does kind of suck. And I do miss that. Another big thing that's changed is the zombies themselves. There are a lot more different zombies in this game, and the zombies that are still in it from console have changed. They look different. You know, Mo looks different. Zombies that are different, like Arlene's still in the game, but there's some that have been removed. Like the zombie I call Carl, he's just gone. He's gone. It's sad. I miss Carl. But there's different types of zombies, and there's also different boss zombies. So you have the cop, you have the one I call Rob Zombie, he's still in the game, the white. You have the biker zombie, which is pretty tough. You have Big Boy, the big Hawaiian guy. You have Big Mama. The spider zombie, the old spider zombie in console version is now, we call him Skinny Pete. Now he walks. But the new spider zombie is really creepy, and he actually does crawl, and he jumps pretty far too. He'll jump and climb walls. And then the Screamer looks a lot different, but still the same, it still comes out and with the heat map, and it screams and brings in zombies. And then you have the Demolisher, which is the kind of the in-game zombie, which will totally wreck bases, and they're a lot of fun. But they come pretty late in the game, day 40, day 50. But once they start showing up, they will wreck your base, and you really have to decide how you want to combat them with your horde base. They've also added different variants. This will come out in Alpha 22. It's not in the current version right now, but it'll come out in Alpha 22, but there'll be different variants of each zombie. So each zombie can wear different clothing, different colored shirt, different colored pants. So that's going to change up the zombies a little bit too. So you might have 3 Arlenes in one house. They all might be wearing different clothing, which I think is pretty cool. The pathing is also different with the zombies. In console version, they kind of just run towards you and then stay underneath you or just try to come at you. They'll sometimes just cluster below you if you have an elevated base, and they'll just kind of run in circles sometimes. Sometimes they do surprise you on console version, and they will get to you, and you're like, wow, I didn't expect that. But PC version, we call them structural engineers, because they will literally find the one weak part in your base, and they will all attack that one area. It is pretty fun to have them path a certain way, and you can really experiment with the pathing and get pretty intricate with it if you want. You've seen a lot of bases on YouTube by Jawoodle and Guns, Nerds, and Steel by really exploit the pathing a lot by the zombies. But if you have one side that is upgraded to concrete or cobblestone rocks and one side that's only wood, 9 times out of 10 they're going to go straight for that wood side. They're going to go through that way. So you really have to make sure your base is completely upgraded all around. Last but not least is the just overall customization that you're going to be allowed. And I still don't know that all of this is going to be on the console version. I'm assuming it is. All of this customization options are going to be on the console version. But they are having to dumb it down just a little bit for the console. So I don't know if all this will be in here, but I really hope it will. But you're able to customize it. You have different difficulty settings. You have 24-hour cycle, daylight length. That's all in the console version. What's nice is you can customize the blood moon frequency. So you can do a horde every night if you want. I love messing with the blood moon range because you can have random horde nights. If you have a horde every night, but set the range to 3 days, you can have a random horde night within those 3 days. It's really fun. I love the random horde nights. It's one of my favorite things of the new version. You can turn the zombies to sprint or feral or nightmare. You can do all that stuff. There's zombie feral sense. You can mess with the XP. Also, you can bump the XP to 300%. You can really speed this game up a lot if you want to boost that XP. You can choose the loot abundance, the drop on death, airdrops, all that stuff, and creative mode is still in there. So a lot of the things from console are still in there, but like I said, the blood moon frequency is a big thing. That's a lot of fun to mess with. And like I said, it helps the playability. That's all it does. It really helps the playability. If you're getting tired of doing the 7-day hordes, do a horde every night with 200% XP. It'll get crazy within just a couple days. It'll get crazy. Well, guys, like I said, I just want to share some of the things to look forward to in the new update. When you do launch it, what it's going to look like, some of the changes. And like I said, I'm not going to be able to cover everything, so whatever I miss, please let me know in the comments. What are you guys most excited for? What are you not excited for? What are some things we're going to be losing from the console version? Let me know in the comments. Love to hear what you guys think. So, as always, guys, thank you so much. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.